Hi everyone, I'm Joanna Bertella, Global Marketing Communications Manager here at Fiery, and welcome to our Fiery Pulse webinar, Smarter Printing Starts Here, Tap into Fiery IQ. But before we jump in, just a couple of quick housekeeping notes. Your microphones are muted to avoid any unexpected background noise, but we definitely encourage interaction, so feel free to use the chat and Q&A boxes at any point. Our expert team is keeping an eye on them throughout, and we allocated time at the end to answer your questions. And this webinar is being recorded, so no worries if you miss anything. You will receive a link to the full recording via email in the next few days to watch back or share with your team. And now let me introduce you to our presenters, Andy Brent and Alkan Zakis, our print data experts here at Fiery. They will walk you through the power of data that is right at your fingertips and show you how to unlock them with Fiery IQ. So let's get started. Alkan, over to you.
Thank you very much, Joanna. As you said, my name is Alkan Zakis. I'm the product marketing manager at Fiery. And thanks again to all of you for being here today. But before we get into the subject and for you to understand the importance of what we are going to cover today, I want to ask you some simple questions. I'm assuming most of you are print service providers. And the idea with this question is not for you to answer them, but to think about them and how can they be affecting your business. First, can you compare performance metrics between printers? And I'm not talking about a perception of they are working a lot, one is working more than the other. I mean, real measurements of productivity. Second, do you know how long your printer has been printing, idle, maintained? And finally, can you get real-time production blocking alerts so you can act fast and keep your devices producing as much as possible? Well, these questions that we saw before are examples of raw information. Every print shop produces huge amounts of data that it's there, unorganized, so we can take anything from them. With analytics, the data can be transformed into valuable knowledge, changing perceptions into fact-based insights, and then take actions that can improve day-to-day operations. And there is where Fiery IQ comes to the picture. Fiery IQ is a powerful cloud-based platform designed to give print providers real-time visibility and control over the entire print operation. And the idea for today is to show you how to start using it and the basics of how it works. Fiery IQ consists of many free applications that are already included and installed in your Fiery server, plus some optional ones that are available for additional cost. In a moment, Andy, the real expert, will demo the different features of this suite of applications. But think of it as a monitoring panel that connects directly to your Fiery and collects live information like production stats, media usage, errors, etc. And it gives you the chance to make data-driven decisions and spot issues before they turn into problems. And now let me hand it to Andy, who will walk you through the core of what we want to show today.
Hey, thank you, Alkan. So just one slide here, and then I'll jump into a demo. So Fiery Command Workstation since 6.8 is integrated into the IQ Cloud services. You can back up and restore your client settings, sharing them with team members. You can launch IQ web pages from Command Workstation. We encourage you to upgrade to Command Workstation 7.1, where we've added support for backing up and displaying your LACs, one of our #1 support calls, backing up and restoring hot folders, and updating the FCC to the latest version. We've also fixed some onboarding issues that were present in 6.8 release, and so please upgrade to Command Workstation 7.1. Onboarding a Fiery server to IQ is now as simple as clicking the button by the Fiery you wish to onboard. You've got direct access to IQ through the button in the upper right of Command Workstation. And if you do not have a Fiery account, you'll be prompted to create one and then add some information about your company. Let's go to the demo. So I'm not trying to sell you anything today, so we won't cover our 3 paid applications. We've got IQ for display graphics. We've got a Fiery Color Guard for monitoring and enforcing color consistency on your Fiery cut sheet printers. Fiery Manage for monitoring and configuring a fleet of Fiery cut sheet printers. We currently have customers using Color Guard and Manage for over 1,000 printers across the fleet for a single customer. Reach out to us if you have a need for touchless onboarding, multi-factor authentication, and more. Let's dive into the free suite of IQ applications for Fiery-driven cut sheet printers. When you log in, you're going to be taken to this page, your dashboard page. It's a shop view of your printers where you see the current status of every printer. IQ is cloud-based. What that means is you don't need a computer to install the software. You'll see some products that will advertise as browser-based, but when they come to set it up, the first thing they ask is, where's the PC where I can install? With IQ, everything is hosted, data is automatically collected, so there's no setup other than creating your Fiery account and clicking on the Fiery onboard icon. If you have a lot of printers, the playing card view can get crowded. You can switch views to a list view here. You can drill down on specific printers, look at statistics, and see things like when was I last connected, how many days, how many hours I've been offline, things like that from the dashboard. Alcon asked about metrics in the introduction, and the free IQ apps can be used to compare production between printers, groups of printers at different locations, as well as shifts. To get started, let's peek at the few admin settings. You can add that right here. A quick note about users. So there are 3 types of users. There is an admin, an operator, and a support user. All admins are created equal. That means if you're the first one to create the account and you invite another admin, that admin has full access. So if someone leaves the company, you don't need to reach out to support. Any other admin can take over. The support role has admin rights. It has a unique ability to switch accounts. The accounts are still secure. Once such as a reseller, many of our resellers use this to help support their remote customers. You switch to a separate account. You're locked into that account without sharing data between customers. An operator has printers assigned to them. So if you have an operator with multiple printers, you can assign printers to a specific operator. So alerts, production views, things we'll look at in a moment, are restricted to the printers that have been assigned to that operator. Backing out here for a moment. Shifts are one of the features that, so we've got, excuse me here, collections of devices. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a device collection here where you can gather up several of your printers. Some of our customers ask, well, how do I separate my printers from one group to another? You can very quickly pick printers at a specific location, specific floor, however they're organized, and you can create a group of printers that can be used in other views. And for the sake of time, I'm going to skip the shift setup. There's also an icon for setting up shifts, and we'll just show you how to use those. Switching to Insight. Insight's the real workhorse. It's where you can learn what you believe to be true to either confirm it or to correct it. My brother likes to hike and hunt in Eastern Oregon, and the first advice his father-in-law gave him was trust your compass. And he shares a story of he was down in several ravines. He knew camp was straight ahead. He looked at his compass and it was completely behind him. And that's what we like to think of IQ as your compass. Maybe our new tagline should be challenge your assumptions, learn where you're wrong, use IQ. It's cheaper than getting married. Going to some of the fields in IQ, impressions. This screen can be arranged to whatever fits your style. One of our customers, John Princick, the National Production Manager at Real Marketing in San Diego, he used to have his team take pictures of every meter on every machine on the first business day of every month, enter these into the spreadsheet, and now he uses IQ to track utilization. He can load balance, he plans production of incoming jobs, and he generates reports for his management team. It's said that if you can measure behavior, you can change behavior. And John's team now responds by asking, how did we do compared to last week? Did we get our best month? How do we do compared to the first shift? Another customer, Calunga, the largest print retailer in Brazil, deployed IQ to their 220 stores across 96 cities in 20 states. Previously, it was more than a full-time job. They just couldn't accurately get information from 220 locations. One of the ways that I like to use IQ, switching to the compare view, is you can add, for example, if you remember that the group that we added, San Diego, when we grabbed a few printers, we've got a customer here in Oregon that leaves this view up during the day so they can see how they're doing company-wide. They can also take a look to see how they're doing their shift compared to another shift. One of the things I like to do is when you see a pattern, you can switch back to the trend view and you can drill down on that pattern. You can look at a specific group and you can look at a specific shift within that group. So let me grab this group. And then I can say, what did I print out of shift, for example, to see how much weekend printing went on. And so you can use that to really isolate and drill down on a pattern, change your view, drill down for that hidden data that used to go undetected. If you remember the support role I mentioned a while back, you will see if you're connected to multiple accounts, there will be a drop down here and you can switch to different customer accounts if you're a reseller or you're in charge of a large fleet and want to set up separate accounts for each of those scenarios. Alcon mentioned in the intro, asked if you could get notifications about production lock blocking events. Let me jump over here to notify. Remember, a support user is restricted to the specific printers they've been assigned. And so we've got customers who will set up a production blocking alert, and they will set these up just for the printers that they're assigned. One of our customers asked us to add 2 minutes because they were really refining the time that they spent on things such as out of paper, paper jam, and then they will get an alert to let them know this is the specific error and this is the printer. So picture an operator that is managing several firies. If you're a manager, you'll want to set this to a larger time frame if you've got many firies, or you will be overloaded with alerts. And so we've got customers that set this up for even an hour so they can say, hey, there's something major going on. Let's go ahead and track this down. The other piece here are production reports, where a customer, some of our customers will take a look at these and then every morning see how they did the previous day. You can set these up for daily, weekly, monthly reports, review how you did, see how it compares. Let's jump back one more time to our insight view. And if I look at my insight view, the last piece of insight is there's a job log. We've got customers that view the job log for specific jobs, repeat jobs, to make sure that they were printed with the same options. Again, remembering that here's our different shifts we can apply. And one of the key things of insight, like we like to say, is it separates your just busyness from true production, true effectiveness, and it helps you sort this out.
Thank you very much. Before the questions, thanks so much, Andy. Before the questions, I want to show you a few more things. What we saw today is just the basics of what Fiery IQ can do. So I want to detail some resources that we offer so you can have a deeper understanding of the product and learn how to take the best out of it. For example, in our comprehensive learning platform, Fiery Learning, you can find several training courses that covers not only Fiery IQ for cut sheet users, that is what we saw today, but also how it works for large format printers, how to set up your Fiery account, and many other useful topics. And to add even more support and resources, there are many other sources of information, like the product pages in fiery.com, where you can find links to the product briefing and other videos, product demos, you can try the application in a test environment, and much more. Fiery Communities is an online network where Fiery users and experts can connect, they can share insights, and they can access support resources. And apart from what you can find in fiery.com, we are providing here some basic video links, like an overview of what Fiery IQ does, a product demo, and an instructive on how to create Fiery accounts. Finally, a new interesting series of audio episodes hosted by virtual experts, where they explore different topics in the printing industry, the Fiery IQ podcast, in this case about the importance of data analytics and how it can help improve your business. And now, yes, let's take you back to Joanna to see if there are any other questions. So back to you, Joanna.
Thank you, Alkan. Thank you, Andy. But just before we go to the question, by the way, if you have a questions, please write them on our chat or the Q&A. We'll get right into it in a minute. But before we get into them, I just wanted to let you know that we have another webinar coming up on June 26th. And this webinar is going to talk about what's more than CMYK and simplifying premium color printing. So in this webinar, we're going to teach you how to enhance your jobs right at the Fire DFE, creating eye-catching effects with specialty colors like pink, metallics, etc., and improve your brand color accuracy and enhance photos with expanded gamut colors. So this is going to be a really, really great webinar. So if you are interested, please register. You can scan this code on the screen, or I'm sending here also on the chat a link where you can register as well. And yeah, now to the questions. Let me go down back here just a second, and let's start with, are all these apps dependent on an yearly fee? So Andy,
right,
maybe you can ask. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Joanna. So let me hit some of these. Are these apps dependent on a yearly fee? And tell me if I'm not going through these in the right order. They're not. Everything we showed you, thank you, Veronica, you've answered that. Those are free applications that we shared. I don't have to answer that one.
Yes, so I can ask the questions and you can just
Sure.
relax and answer them. Well, kind of relax. I have another one here. If I start using FireIQ now, will it start collecting data from today, or is there already some info sorted from before?
Great question. So IQ will connect to your Fiery and it will parse the command workstation job log. So if you've not cleared your command workstation job log, that information will be added to IQ. Every 15 minutes on a new connection, you'll see more of that data populated. Currently up to 3 years of data stored in IQ. So we will populate based on your command workstation job log. The utilization widget that we didn't speak of, where you've got the amount of time in an error state versus printing state versus paused, that information will not be shown, but all of your print production metrics based on your command workstation job log will be populated.
Okay. I have another one here. I've got 2 print shops. Can I see both in the same dashboard and also look at them separately if I want?
Yeah, so 2 print shops, if I heard that correctly.
Yes.
Yes, what you would do is you would set up a device collection as I showed. And so you would see the device collection that you select. Today it is one view at a time. So you would select your group of printers number 1. You would select your group of printers number 2 in 2 separate views. So it's not a side-by-side view in the trend. You can see some production metrics in the compare view. So it's made specifically for that. You can select printer group 1, printer group 2, and you can look at the impressions, the utilization time per location.
Okay. Another question. Are the alerts customizable? Like, can I choose what I get notified about or when?
Yeah, today they are not. And so what we alert on is a production blocking event. So if your command workstation tracker, your bar turns red, the clock starts. In the email, you will get the specific notification of why production was stopped. But today that's not configurable.
Okay. And another question, can we add tabs for workflows in the job queue list?
Yeah, thank you. I will note that the information is in our database. It's not currently displayed. So today, no, but we'll take a look at that.
Okay. Can you run reports based on day, stock finishing type, etc.?
Yeah, so today there's 2 ways to get information. You can look at the general report, not customizable. So in Notify, you can subscribe to a production report and get one every day, for example. For our customers that want to slice and dice the data, they normally go to the job log view that I showed, select a specific group of printers, a specific date range, and then export that into a CSV file. So it is mineable. It's not auto-generated. Customers who want a graphic view of that will go to the trend view, select the same date range and printer group, and then just to take a screenshot of that of a PDF. But usually it's the CSV file from the job log.
Okay. And can IQ report on other printer controls like checking paper supplies in the tray, how much ink is being used by each device, error code logs, how many jobs ran within the hour of production performance indicators, basic information that the printer manual should tell you but doesn't, and you need to operate the printer to understand this kind of general information.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Skylar. So checking the paper supply, you can, I went over that briefly, didn't call it out, is if you drill down from the dashboard view into the printer, it will show you the paper that's in the tray. It will show you the toner, or for our inkjet products, the amount of ink that is currently in each channel. So you can see that the amount that is installed on the device. The error code logs, it's a little rough, to be honest with you. It's if you go into the utilization view, you can look at all of the error codes in a drill down. So you go to the trend view, you look at utilization, you click error codes. It sweeps up the message that was displayed in Command Workstation. So if it's out of paper, do note that these are the error codes directly from Command Workstation. So if you have two different printer vendors, one may say paper jam, one may say paper misfeed. So the data's there, but it's a little bit rough. The hour production performance indicators, you can look at a day view and see the hours. We don't currently have a ticker that shows here's how much you're printing per hour. So you would need to do the math to look at here's my range, and then do the math of dividing that. One note here is IQ records the printing when the job is completed. And so if you had a 1,000-page job, then that will be recorded for the time that the job completed. So not quite what you want, but I wanted to let you know of the feature and limitations there. The basic information about the printer, we've got e-learning courses that may cover some of that, but IQ doesn't give you any information on operating the printer.
Okay. Does IQ still require installation of the Cloud Connector app on the target Fiery DFE?
It does, but there's some good news there. The Firies, forgive me, I don't know the specific version, but for the last several years, kept with the Fiery Cloud Connector built in. With our Command Workstation onboarding, it is as simple as clicking a button to onboard Fiery. And so the installation process, and it's been much improved with Command Workstation 7.1 and beyond, but it will check, Command Workstation will check the Fiery. Does it have the latest cloud connector? If it doesn't, it will auto onboard. In the next release, it won't restart your Fiery, so it will do that without a Fiery restart. But today, it will download and then warn you that at the next restart, you'll have the latest cloud connector. But yes, it does still enable the cloud connector on your Fiery.
Okay. And another question, if a license for Impose or Job Master needs to be restored, how does IQ restore that lack?
Yeah, great question. Thank you. So today in Command Workstation, there will be a button to back up your LACs. There'll be a button to display your LACs. So you would still need to take that LAC, paste it into Impose. And so today it's not a full restore, but it does stop you from prevent you from needing to call Fiery support and track down your LAC.
Okay. And what happens if a job log is deleted?
If a job log is deleted from Command Workstation, it still resides in IQ. So that job log will be there currently for up to 3 years, and you can look at it in IQ, even if it's deleted on the Fiery.
And can a production stopping event be sent to text?
Sorry, one more time, Joanna? Sorry, I didn't see that one.
Can a production stopping event be sent to text?
Yeah, great question. And so we didn't talk about our mobile support. It's one of the items in our backlog. Text, no. You can get production blocking events on our application called EFI Go, but we don't, because of the different rules for text messages in different countries. It's something we currently don't do.
And since Fiery IQ is a cloud-based solution, how can we find more info about data security? For example, all the data stored in the tenant is going outside of the United States. Is the data at rest being encrypted?
Yeah, great question. And so there is a security white paper you'll see in the drop down of one of the options on the upper right side of IQ. It will cover where the data is stored, and then the encryption that goes on for the data at rest, as well as the security of the communication from your location to the AWS cloud.
Yeah, great. And by the way, we have also a podcast that talks about the data security, which is in our podcast section in our website. If you don't want to read the whole white paper, and yeah, I think we went through all of the questions. It's good because we are right about time. So I would like to thank you all for joining us today, and I hope to see you next time on the 26th of May. Thanks, Andy and Alkan, for the great presentation. And yeah, have a nice rest of the day, everyone.
Thanks for your
Thank you
time,
very much
everyone.
to everyone. Thank you.